Hello everyone, Porcelain here, otherwise known as Manufactured Dev, for another quick little video about the Septiplier Simulation Game that I am working on this year, that hopefully will be coming out next month, as long as things keep going on schedule. I'm really nervous about that. But anyway, you're here to figure out how to get your art featured in the game itself and get credited for that, so I'm just going to give you the quick rundown on how to do that. So the first thing I do want to say is that everyone who does have to submit their art and have it featured in the game, if your artwork is featured in the game, you will be given full credit within the credits for the game itself, and there's going to be a special area within the game where you can see all the different pieces, and they will have whatever name you want attributed to them there as well. So just know that if you send in art for the game and it is used, you will be credited, you will be given full credit. I want to feature as many artists as possible, so yes. And the artwork will be featured in areas of the game like pictures on the walls, and then there's a fan art gallery, sort of artist alley area within the convention setting of the game, so that's where all this sort of fan art will likely appear within the game. Alright, so the rules. You can only submit 2 pieces of artwork to be featured in the game, because I do want to keep this open for basically as many people as possible to have the chance to have their art featured as artists of all different skill levels. As long as you put time and effort into your creation, you should be able to get it featured. Only send 1 email if you are emailing it. There are 2 options to send in your art. That is either submitting it to a DeviantArt group or emailing it to the email that I'm going to give later on in this video. I'll talk more about that later. The third is that the art can be new or old. It can be created specifically for the purpose of this game, or it can be fan art that you already made for Mark or Jack or both of them that you're really proud of and you'd like to just send off or submit to have featured in the game. 4 is to include the name you want to be credited under. This is very important. If you are emailing it, if you send it to me on DeviantArt, submit it to the group there, I will be using your DeviantArt username as the name I credit you under, but if you are emailing it to me, then please include in your email the name you want to be credited under, so that I know who to give the credit for, so that if someone sees your artwork in the game and they want to check out more art from you, they will know exactly who you are. And the 5th is have fun with it. Submit a piece of art that you have fun with creating and that you think really features your talents as an artist or just as a fan. So there are some do's and don'ts, of course, as there should be. Like I've said in previous videos about this game, it is a comedy game, not a drama. I mean, it's got its fair amounts of drama and everything, but it is primarily a comedy game, and I do want it to be very respectful to both Mark and Jack and whatever other YouTubers might be featured in the game, so that's why I have a few do's and don'ts that I'm going to list off to you real quick. Please don't draw anything, any kissing or cuddling, like really cuddly things, or too much romance. With cuddling, there's maybe a little gray area there, but yeah, just don't draw anything overly romantic, and of course nothing sexual. All that will, if you submit something like that, or if it's on the fringes, it might not show up in the game. If it's really inappropriate, of course it won't, but it might not show up in the game, and yeah, it's fine to draw them as friends, but not like super. Yeah, I'll show you an example coming up. Second is please don't put a giant watermark on your art. It's great if you have a signature in the piece itself. That would be amazing, but if you have a giant watermark across it, then it also won't be used. 3 is please don't submit unrelated art. I think that goes without saying. It should feature either Mark or Jack, them together, or them with their friends or whatnot. 4, please don't put it in a YouTube comment, email it, or submit it to the DeviantArt group. And the 5 is please don't submit art that isn't your own. If you really like an art piece by someone and you feel like it should be featured in the game, then please contact that artist, tell them, link them this video or something, tell them, hey, you should be featured in this, I really love your fan art, and let them submit it themselves, but only ever submit art that is your own. Here's an example of a piece that I actually drew for the sake of this video, of something that is potentially not something that you should submit. It is cute, I think, I quite like it, but it is really cuddly, really romantic, and so when things start going in that area, it's a lot harder for me to justify including them in the game because I do not want to make anyone uncomfortable. Some do's. Please do draw either both Jack and Mark on their own, like you can draw just Jack, just Mark, or you can draw them with each other or with friends, you know? Anything like that is awesome. You can also just draw Sam or Tim, things that are related to their videos. Anything like that is fine. Number 3 is to spend time on your art. It doesn't matter your skill level as an artist. It doesn't matter if it's traditional or digital. As long as you've put a little bit of time into it and you've created something that you enjoy, I have no problem featuring it, and I think it deserves to be featured. 4 is please do sign your art. Make a little signature in it. Of course I will be crediting everyone, but just in case, if anything were to go wrong or I accidentally put the wrong name under something, if you have a little signature on your artwork, that's always a good thing to do. It's always a smart idea. Not a giant watermark, of course, just a little signature is an awesome practice to get into. And 5 is be as creative as you like with it, of course. So here are some examples that have been submitted to the game already, and I think they are all awesome. As you can see, there are pieces that feature each of them on their own or together. This one, I think, holding hands is a really great example because they are holding hands and it is cutesy and stuff, but it's not an uncomfortable amount of romance. It's just like that slight bit of implied, you know, something or other. It's quite cute. I like it. And I think that level of romance and stuff is completely appropriate for fan art for this, but when you take it a little too far, it's not. Aside from that, yeah, picture them being friends. There's a piece of traditional art, which is awesome. Try and take the best quality picture you can of your traditional art, though. And yeah, some pieces of them on their own. I think they're all great. All the stuff, all the links to the artists who are being featured right here, I will have the link in the description below. You can go check them out. They're already in the DeviantArt group. So, where can I submit? One of them that isn't here in this list, because I couldn't fit it, is there is a group specifically for this project on DeviantArt. If you are working over there, you can check the first link in the description below will be to the DeviantArt group. The second will be like the link to the email. So if you work on DeviantArt and you'd like to submit it to that group and you'd like to subscribe to that group or watch that group or whatnot, then you're free to do that. You don't have to like become a part of the group to submit. You can just submit your artwork there if that's easiest for you. But the second one is you are going to email, this is a different email from the other game related stuff. So you are going to email fanartmd@outlook.com. That's MD for manufactured development. Yeah, so fanartmd@outlook.com. Please try and title your email fan art submission, and then the second part of your email be whatever name you want to be known as, to be credited under. So just fan art submission and then whatever you want your artist name in the game to be. Include 1 or 2 art pieces and include the name you want to be credited under. If you can write it in the email itself too, that's very important. So here is again the email, and just to recap, one email containing 1 to 2 pieces of original artwork featuring Jack, Mark, or both of them. Also related things like Sam and Tim and their friends are wonderful as well. Title it fan art submission and your name. Make sure the email includes the name you want to be credited under. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment down below. And I hope to see all your lovely submissions for this, and I hope to be able to feature as many of you as possible in this game. I really wanted to make this a project that includes as many people from their communities as possible, and I really think that this is going to be the easiest way to feature as many people as possible, and I love that idea. So, oh, one last thing. As for a deadline that this has to be in under, the game is hopefully going to be completed in September. I'm not setting a hard deadline for the fan art submission, however, but I would say that a very good rule is if you have your fan art in by September 1st, it should be featured. If you have it in afterwards, it might be, but it also might not. So just for safety's sake, if you want to be sure that your artwork is featured in the finished game, have it submitted by September 1st. Now, if you submit it sooner, there is a greater chance that it'll be featured within the game's backgrounds and not just in the artist alley portion, just because I need to have those areas of the game finished and available to work with sooner than later. But You never know. And as long as you submit it by the 1st, you are almost guaranteed, as long as it fits the other criteria, to have it featured in the game. So yes, submit by September 1st to the email or the DeviantArt group. Ask me questions down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for staying interested in this project, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!